Oh, hi guys. Recently, I signed up for the 2024 Nebraska Thespian Festival, which is just like a bunch of like statewide competitions and such. You know how it is. But what really caught my eye on this is the Filmworks. You see, the competition for the Filmworks is where you make a short film in a month, and if your short film wins, you get to have 2 days with like studio officials, like directors and stuff. And you can get to learn a bunch of cool stuff. You can probably see where I'm going with this. Now I'm gonna break this up into 4 parts. 1, the story. 2, the filming. 3, the miniatures. And 4, the compositing. And remember, this was done in a month. Now, first things first, the story. Okay, so the story was a little tricky. I wanted the story to be cool and intriguing, like really interesting. But I couldn't make it like an action movie or another like mystery or something like that, because number 1, that would exceed the 5 minutes. That's the time limit for the short film. Number 2, I'd have to get a lot more props. But then I thought deeper. What about a horror movie? Horror. I mean, there's a lot of horror short films out there on YouTube. Why not make one of those? What if I made a haunted car movie?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Now, I know a lot of you are probably calling me out for copying an idea, but there's a lot of haunted cars in Hollywood. Like the car from 1977, Christine, obviously. And there's just tons. Like, a lot. So, why not? So I came up with a good, firm script. Just based it off of a few things, and got some help from my friend Jordan, which you might remember from the from one of the band videos. But he helped me with the screenwriting and stuff. And he also voice acts one of the characters in the movie on the radio. So I got to work making and finishing the script. Once that was done, time to move on to the filming. Now, the filming was a little tricky. So I found some locations that we could film at. One of them was a park, and I went there to do some test shots, and they looked pretty good. I did have some worries about the camera quality being too bad and not being able to see anything in the dark, but it looked pretty good. Okay, guys, we got Turner. He's gonna be our light boy. He's gonna pretend to be a car. And then we got Braden, which is the main star of the show. Yeah, we're gonna do some stuff.
And Patrick Nicholas.
Yeah.
I'm impeded.
Man, get ya! That's the reason why we need a light boy, because obviously cars have headlights. And the other location is just a friend's house that had a fire pit in their backyard and like a giant wooded area, so it was perfect to film inside. Now, filming at like nighttime with a bunch of middle schoolers is pretty wild. It gets weird at some times. For some reason, Turner ran away and brought back a log. All right, fellas. Turner, what do you got for us?
Fentanyl.
Ah! But other than that, finished up the filming and onto the miniatures. Now, this is the interesting part of the video. This is probably the part of the video you had been wanting to see. Or you just clicked on it for, I don't know. So first I looked online on like Amazon for good quality, like old car models that I could build and some lights. And I didn't have to wait long. Looks like we got the goods. And the total cost of the model and the lights was about $42. So pretty cheap. Now, you may be asking me, Patrick, why didn't you just buy a Matchbox car or something? Why did you have to spend $42? Well, that's actually a good question. You see, if you're familiar with miniatures in movies, then you'll know that the miniatures they used in old movies and movies now are huge. In fact, I don't even know why they call them miniatures. They should be called bigatures, because look at this thing. This is from The Dark Knight. Look how huge the Batmobile is. And it takes teams of dedicated people to build these things. And there's no way I could build a model car from scratch, so. And I need to put lights in it, so it would light up the surrounding area. So I cut open the model and found a pretty big problem.
Oh, you gotta be.
You see, I thought that the grille and the headlights would be different pieces. Like, the headlights would be separate glass pieces that you could put on so I could put the lights in. But the entire front thing was one big piece. So I had to Dremel out the headlights so I could put the lights in it. But once I did that, I spray painted the rest of the model. I put the wires in and I attached it to two 9-volt batteries taped to the bottom, put on the decals and put in the lights, and oh my gosh. I mean, look at this. Like, oh my gosh. I mean, I could point out a bunch of things wrong with this model, but even I can't deny that it looks freaking awesome. After I got over this awesomeness, I filmed all the miniature shots and the last shot of it tumbling down the cliff, which was just a cardboard box with some dirt in front of it, and I just rolled the car down the hill. And the other shots with the leaves in front of the car, I just took some leaves and crumpled it up, and that's about it.
There's one point in the short film where the main character shoots the haunted car in the windshield and it like blasts out glass and then it reforms. So what I did is I took a piece of plexiglass and spray painted it black, and then I hammered it so it looked cracked. Then I filmed different plates of it, like each one at their separate plate. And then for the explosion, I just added a effect of baby powder in front of a green screen that I filmed separately. And then for it to reform, I poured salt over the green screen at a sloped angle, and then I just played it backwards.
And that's basically the miniatures.
And on that note, onto the compositing. And, well, you see, about compositing, it's super boring, at least to watch. All you guys need to know is that I worked hard on it, and the only shot that was difficult is this really janky shot that I had to redo like 5 billion times.
But after all that, the film is pretty much finished. If you want to go see the final product, there's a link in my description where you can go watch it. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. It helps me a lot. And I'm getting close to 500 subscribers, and I'd love it if you helped me in that mission. But that's pretty much it for this video. And, well, see you in the next one.